Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Bobby. This is Blended Brands. Today we are going to do something a little different. I'm not going thrifting, I'm not going out. I'm going to show you exactly how I actually take my items and clean them. Especially these ones right here, my bats. So let's get going. So these bats, as you can see, a lot of times when you're reselling, you're going to want to make sure that you are cleaning everything. If you can see this, and I'm going to do it a little bit, hopefully it focuses, focus, there you go, focus a little bit. I mean, this thing is really pretty bad. And you'll see $1.99, I think I got it. Yeah, $1.99, look at that. But anyway, so we're going to go through and I will show you exactly how I take these bats to make them basically look almost like new. I mean, there's going to be, you know, your regular chip of paint and everything like that, but when you're selling it, you're going to want to make sure that you have a clean item. It just sells better, it takes better pictures, and if you're new to eBay, I mean, everybody that's out there is not going to be, when you go out there and you look at something, you're going to want to make sure that you're looking at something that's brand new and buying something that's brand new. So if it is saying pre-owned, of course you know that it's going to have a little bit of wear and tear, but you're not going to want something that looked exactly like this one here, you know, with all the pine tar and everything around it. So we are going to go through and I'll show you some of the items that I utilize to make sure that these bats are clean. So really, it's not that hard. I was going to say that not that easy, but it's really not that hard to clean a bat. All you're going to be needing are these things. These things are magic. You just need to make sure that you're grabbing a giant box of these. We're going to have one today and I'll probably get through all 4 of those bats. But then I'm also going to try something a little different. Normally I usually just take this and scrub away hard on the pine tar of bats. And a lot of times the pine tar is used for college bats, so you can always spot an easy college bat that way too, or a high school bat is, they have probably pine tar on it. Sometimes it's not really needed, but that's what, you know, that's what they do. So anyway, we're going to try and, I looked up something and we're going to try and utilize what I saw on the internet, and that was utilizing pine sol to get the pine tar off. So we'll see how that goes, but first let's go ahead and see exactly what, you know, a magic eraser does on a bat. Alright, so first things first, get a space, you know, yeah, I'm using our kitchen sink. My wife hates me when I do this, but that's okay. First we're going to want to take off the Goodwill tag or whatever tag you have on it. If you don't have any tags, great. You can use a heat gun, whatever you want, to make sure that they come off nice and easy. Or, honestly, you don't even have to take off this tag. I do it just because I like to do it, but you're going to see that this magic eraser is absolutely insane. So once again, we're going to see right here, alright, and let me make sure it gets focused. You're going to see all this right here is super dirty. So all you need is a little water. I mean, I just let it run the entire time and I just go right on it. And when you get it, you just put a little pressure on it, and this thing is absolutely crazy how well it works on bats. I'm going to show you guys in 5 seconds here. This is literally just from over that one little scrub. Look at the difference on that. I'm going to get it completely cleaned and go through all the different bats, and then we're going to try and do that pine tar with that pine sol. I don't know how that's going to work, so you guys are going to see exactly with me if it works well or not, but I've heard on there that it does, so we'll try it. We'll give it a shot. Alright, so we are almost at the end here. Let's make sure to clean it up and scrub it and wash it, clear it off. And it's not going to be, whoop, knocked that over. It might not be absolutely perfect, but it's gonna look, you know, a heck of a lot better than what it did. And when you post it, it's gonna post to sell. So we're gonna see right here. You guys can see now, this is a heck of a lot better than what we had before. And you post that out and get that out there like this, I guarantee you it's gonna sell a lot better than the other one. Now with grip's not really gonna matter that much. If you wanna put an over grip on it, that's perfectly fine. But having a grip is not gonna change anything, especially for the older kid bats, because the older kids are gonna want to put on their own grip anyway, because each one is gonna have a different grip on it. So really, I'm gonna leave the grip as is. I'm gonna trim this up probably before posting it. And then just kind of list it. I'll probably clip that as well, but make note of gonna need a new grip, and it should go. All right, so I'm gonna go and grab all these. I'm gonna fast forward it, go through some of these baths real quick, make sure that we get through it, and then we're gonna get to the pine sol and the pine tar and see what we can get off, honestly, without having to destroy one of these. All right, we are back to this Rawlings, and you're gonna see, I mean, this thing's really, really bad, beat up. It's a Rawlings Velo. I got it for $2.99 over at the Goodwill. I saw some really good sold comps and figured, you know, there's a way that we can still clean this up. Normally I will scrape off the pine tar and get through it. Don't mind my little Santa up there, he's always watching over us. But I'm gonna see if this pine sol trick really does work, as I'm peeling off the $2.99 sticker. And yeah, and get off all the pine tar on the bottom. I am gonna go ahead and do the magic eraser on the actual bat itself. And then once I'm done with that, yeah, let's see if it works. I'm gonna flip it. This grip is really, really bad. I'm really kind of questioning this, if it's gonna work. But I have heard, if anything, they're gonna have a really nice smelling bat, I'll tell you that. But I have heard that this is supposed to come right off with pine sol. And I don't see anything yet. We'll see. I have to let it sit for a while. It definitely is coming off a lot easier than normal. Look at that big old chunk right here. That's a lot. Let's do this and see. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit this time. Just let it be on it. And then let's try and get it off. Yeah, that wasn't very long at all, I know. Impatient, what can I say? Alright, so doing this and just scrubbing it off, it comes off a little bit easier. And you can still see, but there's still a lot. So I'm going to take a paper towel, I'm going to wrap it around with the pine sol and let it sit for a little bit and see what happens. Okay, so I got a paper towel. All I did was throw on the pine sol onto the paper towel and just wrap it up. So we'll see if that actually does work at all. Kind of questioning if it is or not. I've heard of other methods as well, so if this doesn't work, I'm definitely going to try out different methods. But I thought this was a cool method to try out, especially on camera, and see if it actually does work. So let's see if we just let it sit there, soak in the pine tar a little bit, take the magic eraser and see if it just comes right off. Okay, well, fast forward a little bit, 5 minutes. I let it sit, so it doesn't look like anything's just gonna come right off. Let's move this out of the way. Doesn't look like I said, it doesn't look like anything's just coming right off. So I'm a little apprehensive around this method, but let's take our magic eraser. Let's see what we can get, or at least get off. You know, I know how much work it does, or it is, to take off some of this pine tar. And honestly, I've sold bats with pine tar on them. So I'm not afraid to just sell the bats exactly as is. But I'd like to clean it off, you know. I like to get a lot of this off, especially for the end buyer. Just because I think it's nice. I think it's the nice thing to do. But yeah, I would not, I'm going to have to say, I would not probably use the pine sol method. It definitely comes off easier than just scrubbing with water and the magic eraser. But pine tar's a pain in the butt. As you can see, it is not fun at all. And it just is really super hard to get off. So I'm going to just go ahead and keep on scrubbing away at this, getting this off, and we'll see what the end product is here. All right, I am going to steel wool, and hopefully all that pine sol is still on. Steel wool is still pretty hard to get on there, but I'm going to let you know that pine tar is not an easy thing to get off. So if you're looking to buy and you don't want to sell it with pine tar on it, just remember that it is a lot of time to take to get that off. And if there's any other, you know, ideas or ways that you guys get your pine tar off, let me know. I mean, I'd be happy to go ahead and do another video on this of some of the other things that come out in the comments. So let me know exactly if you have a method that you guys utilize to make sure that you can get all the pine tar off your bats, especially the baseball players that are out there. I would love to know, how do you get all that pine tar off? But as you can see, I'm getting quite a bit off already with the steel wool. So again, I don't know if that pine sol is or is not helping, but I am making sure that at least some of this pine tar is off, just to make it look a little bit presentable for the end buyer. All right, well, we are all done. It definitely took a lot of time to do the steel wool with pine tar. It always has. So if you guys are looking to pick up bats, make sure you keep that in mind. It does take some time to get that pine tar off, unless you guys have some additional resources or information on how to get that off. Please feel free to leave it in the comments. Let me know. I'd love it, and I'd love to put another video out there to make sure everybody else knows. But here is the final product, just so you guys can see. I'm going to go ahead and not re-grip it, but cut off the grip a little bit, because you're going to see the grip's just kind of hanging. But yeah, I mean, it turned out a heck of a lot better. It's ready to be posted. It's going to sell a lot better than what it was before, and that's what you're out there to do. So if you did like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. It'd help out a lot, as well as subscribe and turn on those notifications as this channel is starting off, and I'd love to have everybody along for the ride. So until then, another day, another dollar, and we'll see you next time.
You know I came through. You know I came through. You know I came through with the fuego. You know I came through. Hey, you know I came through. You know I came through with the fuego. You know I came through. Hey, you know I came through. You know I came through with the fuego. You know I came through. Hey, you know I came through. You know I came through with the fuego. You know I came through. Hey, you know I came through. You know I came through with the fuego. You know I came through. Hey, you know